Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na Wednesday, number 20 day for this month of April 2022. My name na Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chief and Anti-Kidnapping Czar of the Ambazonian Governing Council, a military attaché to the Governing Council's cabinet, aka Sense Pass King, una own countryman. Una welcome for our daily podcast, a program where we bring meaningful information for help we navigate this journey to our independence. We bring facts and evidence-based, substantiated information to you. Fellow people of the British Southern Cameroons, citizens of Ambazonia. Today, for this episode, we go focus on a speech and statement made by the Pan-Cameroonian politician Fru Ndi for the CRTV program where they call them say Press Hour. This interview, it then draw heavy reaction from Ambazonian leaders where they don't condemn John Fru Ndi.
On the line, Chairman, we are happy to have you on Press Hour today. I'm going to ask you what is the contribution of political parties, especially the Social Democratic Front, that you are the national chairperson. What is the Social Democratic, what are political parties doing in general, and what is the Social Democratic Front doing in particular to end the crisis in the Northwest and Southwest regions?
About the contributions of political parties. When we started off, we were working together. But today, the SDF found ourselves alone. Nonetheless, we still continue with the spirit of 1990, that we came up with a program that we wanted to sell to Cameroonians, and we sold this program and they bought it, and that's why the SDF candidate was voted in the elections of 1992.
So, in that interview, they asked Fru Ndi about the ongoing war on Ambazonia by La République du Cameroon. He gave a very flimsy and unrelated answer, talking about a election will be happen for 1992, where we bring SDF into the Parliament of La République du Cameroon. As empty as the answer be, he go further for make very strong statement about Ambazonian leaders them within for the diaspora.
The people are abroad. They are not here in the country. And with the international conventions, I don't know why, from Parliament, from Senate, we cannot pass a law to get these people extradited for Cameroon so that they face the arm of the law. Because, like, all of them out there, their children are going to school, they're working, but coming out here, children should not go to school. Properties are destroyed.
So that was the segment of the statement made by Fru Ndi. We go break them down piece by piece, forgive our people them the fact, and then we will tell our people them what we mean for all of our country people so that they go understand. It be important make we digest them so that our people they not go be misled again. So make we go back for exactly which way Fru Ndi talk.
Encouraging the people are abroad. They are not here in the country.
So the first thing we need John Fru Ndi talk na say the people them way they lead and they support the struggle for Ambazonia, they know they for inside Cameroons, then they abroad. The second thing we talk
the international conventions, I don't know why.
It talks with the international convention. It talks international law. It no quote any international law. I want to make our people they know exactly which way talk before we go respond and we go break them down. So he quotes a international convention, but he don't mention any international convention. But he talks he don't know why.
From Parliament, from Senate, we cannot pass a law to get these people extradited for Cameroon so that they face the arm of the law.
So the third thing we talk na say you know why the Cameroon Parliament and Senate they no fit pass law where it go fit make them extradite me then send the people leaders and where they for abroad back me then can face the law them for Cameroon. And the last thing where he talk now this.
Like all of them out there, their children are going to school, they're working, but coming out here, children should not go to school.
So he talks say the people waiting there for diaspora, they're picking they go for school, but for ground they talk say me people they no go for school. Fellow Ambazonians, we go start from the last thing we Fru Ndi talk then we go for the first thing we talk and then we will give una very important information about this thing, because the whole this message now a last ditch effort by Cameroon government had they done fail for win Ambazonia militarily. They done tend for begin push all enablers them for outside. The one the way they be to work for their bottom, they done push them all me then come out outside for the last ditch effort for try for disorientate and fool the international community as this Russian-Ukrainian war, it then make a new thinking in the international community where they take a second look about the neglected war where it go on for the Cameroons for try for resolve them as we see how diplomacy it unfold. So this thing the way Fru Ndi they do it not be in isolated, it be well crafted. For the last thing we talk, say leadership them where they for diaspora, they are picking that they go for school. Why did they talk for ground zero? Say me people they need to go for school. This one now the fact. School boycott, it no be announced now from the leadership we did for diaspora. It will be announced now the leadership for the civil society where it be there for ground headed by Tasang Wilfred, where it be now the head for CACTO. That means say the teachers union. The students them also for Boya and all across Ambazonia they be rise up for accept. Say we will not fee allow Cameroon government me them francophonize our educational system. They be done the same even French speaking teachers them for come inside our side. They be done try for do all things possible, humanly possible, for resolve this problem in a meaningful way where it go last for long. Now Cameroon government, YSSEP, it decide for ban the consortium and for declare say activity for present our problem like a problem for one people for Southern Cameroon na a crime. Even the Cameroon government they be organize their grand national dialogue, then deny say we the people for Southern Cameroon will not get right for come for shidong for table with them like one people. Then say go up, come down for every way any man it don't try for discuss with these people. They no one for hear anything say me go stand like one. They want say they must dilute we in any shape or form. So the decision for school boycott, it no be taken a leadership for diaspora. But as the leadership for ground zero, it will be forced for come out of the country. Like many other leadership them since these 60 years will leave Nigeria, will join La Republic. They don't always force them, me them run, or me them kill them, or me them put them for prison for life. This leadership, it come out, it talks say we'll go solve the problem in a sustainable way, and the only way we'll solve the problem we'll get on La Republic, now say we want complete independence. As a result, say they don't decide say that independence be the only solution for we now as a people. The leadership for diaspora don't even soften the matter. Wouldn't change the entire school boycott for a complete ban of Cameroon government schools. We don't want any school will be authorized by Cameroon where it project Cameroon as a government because we already declare our independence. So we don't create an alternative for open community school. The Ambazonian Governing Council, it don't open by itself over 18 Ambazonian community school. It don't encourage community within Ambazonia for open over 23 community school. It don't approve other school them when a private sector mission and church school them me they open both for urban areas and for rural areas to over 58. That means the governing council it don't approve 58 school them, make them go under conditions them where it be favorable and it will reflect the aspiration of our people. So we'll never deny say make no school it no go. We don't talk na say make no Cameroon government school it no go for Ambazonia. Palestinian them they no fit talk say me Israel can open school for their country. So do Israel. They no fit talk to me Palestinian. They can open school for their country. As we fight for the future of our country, the Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia, will not allow Cameroon government make they run school, in particularly their government school for our territory. So make our people, they make them know very well. So we need to deny school. Our war no be a war against school. Our war now for a school, when an Ambazonian school, where they teach our people proper education, where you go empower them for be competitive for the world and for preserve their integrity and their identity. Concerning the thing where Fru Ndi talk, say Parliament and Senate for Cameroon, La Republique, therefore make law, make them bring Ambazonian leader them back for inside Cameroon for can't judge them. Make we know, say na the same Fru Ndi, where it become the pretend for una. Say ye and the SDF parliamentarian and senator, they fight now for solve and for put this Ambazonian problem for table for Cameroon, their parliament. Now where they talk say the problem na illegal problem where they supposed to put the leader, then where they lead this struggle for prison. It show na say they be the lie na lie for una, say they fight for put Ambazonian or this conflict or whatever they call them for table. It be na all lies. They be playing a game for back. They be just try for helephobia, for calm down our people so that they go continue for live as third-class citizens in a subjugated system under La Republique. Now, why that way they be the fight saying that the one go to represent we internationally for talk on our behalf, so that when they go meet up those people, the same like how they be meet up the common world leader where he become for inside Boyaka meet up them. The people the way they be deal with the Fru Ndi, for they then talk say Fru Ndi, it be the misrepresent this problem. It be the talk say this problem, it no be been a problem about a challenge or sovereignty. It no be talk say the problem na about independence. It talks say our people then simply they be one of federalism, and then me then sponsor SDF. So as our people they suffer, they die. These politicians like John Fru Ndi, where people they don't support them and they don't make a career for talking that they represent the public. They represent the public. They represent their belly and their political adventure where it be meant for them and their friends and their families. They care less about our people. They exploit our people and they don't want to exploit any uprising for political gains. So Fru Ndi, it don't show say it no gain no credibility. Never again should any Ambazonian think for 1 minute say Fru Ndi it talk on our interest or on our behalf. We be done hear news for Paragoji Dinka. We be done hear news how they be form SDF with the sole purpose for help, for solve and for make the condition for the Southern Cameroon people them make it better. Fru Ndi it don't deny for talk on their behalf. It don't sabotage. It don't sell out for Pobia. Receive huge sum of money for your own personal public, for your own personal belly, for begin act like an agent for cover up Pobia, crimes, and then they pretend me the war officer would participate for the debate for inside La Republique, and there is hope na a diplomatic process, but we all na lie. Fru Ndi, it represents it represents na Pobia, he and Pobia they chop na for one pot. Now why that way, Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, leader of our War of Liberation, it be right, just like how Bo Herbert, the leader and spokesperson for Maurice, he also don't agree say Dr. Cho Ayaba it be right for talk say John Fru Ndi na an enabler, na a collaborator for Pobia for recolonize our territory. Colonization na a war crime, na a crime against humanity, and Fru Ndi, if we meet up here for Bamenda, we go arrest you for crime for facilitate recolonization of our territory. Number 3, before the last one, number 3, it talk about international law. The last one, it talk about the prospect for arrest Ambazonian leadership way they for abroad, bring them back for the Cameroons. With the international law, it talk about these things. The whole international law it be based now on the Charter of the United Nations. Charter mean like document, like law, bylaws or constitution. Now the international law basis and that where they call them the United Nations Charter. The preamble, that means say the introduction, thing where other law then be based for the United Nations, it talk, it give we the power as Southern Cameroonian them for do what they do. Inside the preambles for the chapter for the declaration of the United Nations, their charters them, paragraph 6 for the it talks say recalling the right of peoples to self-determination by virtue of which they have the right freely to determine their political status and to pursue their economic and social and cultural development. The paragraph 8 for day it talks say considering that the elimination of the massive and flagrant violation of the human rights of the peoples and individuals affected by situations such as those resulting from colonialism, neo-colonialism, apartheid, all forms of racial discrimination, foreign domination, occupation, aggression, and threat against national sovereignty and territorial integrity, and the threat of war would contribute to the establishment of circumstances precarious to the development of the great part of mankind. This law them it talks say people the way they face the kind problem where Ambazonia they face na a whole problem for mankind. That means say the whole world supposed to accept say this type of problem na a big problem. The whole UN they set them up now for solve the kind of problem and for prevent this type of problem them way don't come as a result. International law will identify us and Cameroon government as well as trusteeship member them. He identify us as a people, both us for Ambazonian and the people for La Republic with equal right to have full access for independence and political association and political organization. That means say international law it is support we say we Ambazonian if we gather ourselves no matter where we are in the war to advocate and organize for preserve and protect our sovereignty and our territorial integrity. We are on the right side of the law internationally. The Constitution of Cameroon, as a government, we don't sign treaty for join United Nations. It bound Cameroon say all the international treaty them be above a constitution. So there is no law where Cameroon government if he ever pass them, no decree where if he ever sign them, make it override our right as a people for acts for which we duly get them for inside international law. We have the right for protect our sovereignty, for protect our territorial integrity, and the right for self-determination. That means we will decide by ourselves whether we want to be independent or want to be separate. Whatever thing we will decide them, now our choice. Apart from this, the Cameroon government they began ask the United States Secretary for African Affairs Capo Daniel, time we be visit that country in the official capacity, whether it be possible for catch Ambazonian them legally for abroad or for ask government them for abroad, me then catch Ambazonian leader them, send them back for home. This is what Capo Daniel answer for them. Wanna listen?
De masse.
That's a very interesting question.
La communauté exilée la plus active, c'est la communauté camerounaise. Bien sûr, il convient de relever que dans toutes les communautés, vous avez des divergences de point de vue. Et en ce qui concerne leur statut aux États-Unis, la liberté d'expression est conçue différemment aux États-Unis et tout le monde doit respecter les lois. Si le gouvernement, comme nous l'avons relevé auprès des autorités, s'il nous envoie des éléments de preuve, nous allons poursuivre ces personnes en délicatesse avec la loi des États-Unis.
To send us any specific information if they believe there is somebody breaking the laws of the United States of America, and we will certainly follow up that information. And if it turns out to be so, then we will prosecute the individuals.
Donc vous attendez du gouvernement camerounais qu'il vous donne des faits, des personnes qui sont dans votre pays, qui menacent la paix au Cameroun pour que vous enclenchez des procédures contre eux ou pas?
Absolutely. If the person breaks the laws of the United States, that's the biggest question, because if they break the laws of Cameroon but do not break the laws of the United States.
Donc ils sont libres de menacer le Cameroun des États-Unis tant qu'ils ne menacent pas les États-Unis.
It depends on menacer, because again, I went through the same question with my friends, the Ethiopians. They sometimes were very frustrated.
Because they finance the war in Cameroon.
And again,
social insecurity, not
the laws are the laws. If they break the law, then we prosecute in the United States. Yeah. Not in Cameroon. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
So, not in Cameroon, absolutely. Capo Daniel he explained for them, say na a matter of free speech. All countries where don't sign United Nations membership, then get an obligation for respect the convention them and the Charter for United Nations. That means say any Ambazonian where they advocate for protect and defend the territorial integrity and sovereignty of Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia, when a legal entity recognized by the United Nations, he be on a right for doing so. Even if he preach, say me them fight with gun, because the right for defense sovereignty, right of self-defense, is with every need necessary. With every means necessary, you feel fight for defend your life, for defend your country and your territorial integrity. They even talk say, even if the people that they sponsor the war, Tibo Nagi talk say it be clear for them as for America, now a matter of freedom of speech, and the same thing we apply for the whole war. Tibo Nagi talk this interview now 3 years ago. He said the American government, they don't tell Cameroon government, say if any person is there for inside America, where it violate law for America or international law by supporting Ambazonia, make Cameroon government is send them. Cameroon government, if they don't hire firms them, they hire even a salary firm, they interview people, they make fake cases them, send them all over the world, from Norway to Hong Kong to all over the world for target us, the leaders of Ambazonian, and all of that effort, it be failed. 3 years after, we are still standing strong, we are still fighting Cameroon government. What has been the reaction of the international community? First, the American government, it don't talk to Cameroon, the target killing of Ambazonian, they commit war crime, they don't sanction Cameroon. The American Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, he don't announce Joe Biden, he don't ban specific member them for Pobia regime and their family, they not be able to travel for America. The Parliament for United Kingdom, Lord Bolton, he don't talk say Ambazonians them, then get right for assert their power of sovereignty over their territory. That means they will get right for fight like how would they fight for ground, take decision like how would they take them for ground. We'll get right for assert them say now we get power for inside our country, no be like republic. Now say mean they don't get debate for Parliament for United Kingdom, they don't get them for German Parliament. All over the world they talk only one thing: Paul Biya, you commit war crimes, stop killing the people of Ambazonia. I will give you a rundown for the reaction of the international community since this war is started. Despite Cameroon government, their effort for cajole other countries, no country in the world have condemned Ambazonians their right of self-determination and our case for fight against Cameroon. As a matter of fact, I will start from the beginning. Security cables for ECOWAS. It clearly states Nigerians military supports the Ambazonian people. This one has separate cable the way they come out. More talks that one as if it be speculation. What are the real facts of the international community reaction during this war? For 2019, there was a formal discussion within the United Nations Security, which marks a milestone within the Ambazonian liberation movement that directly talks about the problem and the war of Ambazonian and La Republique. In that conversation, they talk say they go to monitor the situation and they ask the United Secretary General for follow up on the conversation. It led to an engagement of the Central African representative Francois Force, direct communication with the governing council about negotiation between Ambazonia and La Republique. This one are also official justification say this one are a real war based on legitimate issue, not be a matter of crime or anything where Cameroon government is one present them for our public. For July 2019, the African Union a welcome initiative from the Swiss and call for measures of dialogue to be promoted to resolve the crisis between Ambazonia and La Republique. For 2019 November, the Commonwealth of Nations released a statement calling on the Cameroon government to choose the path of negotiation and dialogue with the Ambazonian people. The Commonwealth Secretary General Patricia Scotland he followed up with a multiple visit for Ambazonia and for express the push by the Commonwealth for call for negotiation as a resolution of this crisis. For June 20th, 2018, after Cameroon government it denied make independent group the no can enter for inside there for find out what it happen. The European Union is support United Nations media organs them come for inside Ambazonia and call upon the Cameroon government for allow them for come. Now say it happen when again United Nations be enter for inside Ambazonia for March. They enter officially for March 2019. Now whether you get the representative for United Nations now, Red Cross and many other organizations for inside the territory. If it be been as some illegal thing on a criminal activity on a terrorism, the international community enough for react this way. The High Representative Federica Mogarini. He talks say persistent violence and human rights abuses in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon have created unacceptable victims as well as enormous human and material damages. She blames the Cameroon government and Cameroon politicians for inciting through hate speech the uprising of the Ambazonian people. In April 2019, the European Parliament passed a motion to condemn human rights violation in southern Cameroon, calling for an investigation of possible war crimes committed by the Cameroon soldiers. It also called on the Cameroon government to stop using military trials for civilians and Francophone courts to try Anglophone detainees. This one, the European Union, they talk. The motion concluded that the Anglophone crisis, if continued, should be tabled in the United Nations Security Council. At that time, just for bringing for our memory, this statement, official statement by the European Union, it be met with anger and condemnation from the Cameroon Senate, the Senate President Marcel Gifanji. It be called the European Union as illegal or falsehood. So I think we know very well what it happened. For the same June 2019, the European Union initiate the European Institute of Peace for negotiate, and eventually they be stopped due to the Swiss HD peace deal. The last warning it be done come now for May 6, 2019, where United Nations Commissioner for Human Rights Michelle Bachelet it be give last warning. He say Cameroon government then get warning for demonstrate and win the trust of the people of the southern Cameroon. She put it there, southern Cameroon, for a decisive end of the war, then for avoid international pressure. So Mr. John Fru Ndi, their attempt for try for misrepresent our war for our population like something will be illegal, something where people they go to see them some way they want bring for presenter for them. Now all fake things, now an enabler, somebody where they do now propaganda for Mr. Pobia, a regime. Ni John Fru Ndi, he don't sell Ambazonia, he don't sell the people them when they be the backbone of a rise to fame and a rise to political relevance. Make our people them they receive that message from Fru Ndi like wait we be a trash dog for dogs. Then think less of our people. They think say our people they not get sense by putting out small statements like that. Then feel say they will confuse our people for abandon their work for freedom and embrace a subjugated state as third-class citizen in the worst country in humanity, La République du Cameroun. God bless you now. Capo Daniel signing off.